Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, and you are watching the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about the Bluebells, one of Scotland's finest bands and just absolutely one of my favorite bands. If you're into, let's say, Aztec Camera, Orange Juice, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, people like that, you're really going to dig the Bluebells if you've never heard them before. I didn't hear them until 1983 when they released their second single called Kath, and I was at Music Market in Costa Mesa flipping through the import bins, miscellaneous B, saw it, pulled it out, thought, hey, they look cool. Oh my gosh, there's a song there produced by Elvis Costello, and oh, there's a song there produced by Colin Farley. So I thought, yeah, this is going to be really cool pop, and of course I was 100% correct. I went backwards and I bought their first single called Forevermore, and then I've gone forward ever since. So I've been a fan since 1983. Now let's start off talking about the Bluebells themselves. Now I'm not going to go in too deep about the band, but I will say that the core members that have been there since the beginning, Robert Hodges on guitar, he's also known as Bobby Bluebell. He used to date Siobhan Fahey from Bananarama, and a very early version of a song that he wrote called Young at Heart was on their debut album called Deep Sea Skiving. And then you've got Ken McCluskey and you've got his brother David McCluskey. Now the first couple years was the classic lineup, which was Robert, Ken, David, Russell Irvine on guitar, and Lawrence Donegan on bass. Lawrence Donegan, actually, when Russell and Lawrence Donegan left, which was right before the first album was released, Lawrence went over and joined Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. Now they were replaced, bassist Neil Baldwin came in, and Craig Gannon came in on guitar. And this was right before Craig Gannon joined the Smiths. So he was actually a Bluebell before he became a member of the Smiths. Nowadays, the lineup includes Campbell Owens, formerly of Aztec Camera, the original Aztec Camera. Can you believe that? So you've got the Bluebells and a member of Aztec Camera. You've also got Douglas McIntyre, who was a member of the Jazzateers and other bands. And when I say the Jazzateers, that's the band that Graham Skinner was in before Graham Skinner formed Hipsway, Witness, Cowboy Mouth, and other bands. And the current lineup also includes Mick Slavin, who was actually a member of Borgie Borgie, which was Paul Quinn's band, another Scottish band. I believe he's played with Delamitri as well. So I think I've already gone too deep into the weeds, but just know that their recordings were produced by Colin Farley and Elvis Costello and Bob Andrews and Robin Millar and others. In the UK, they released singles Forevermore, Kath, Sugar Bridge, Young at Heart, I'm Falling, and then Kath got reissued again. The first American release came out in 1983. It was an EP featuring some of the tracks from the singles. Their debut album, Sisters, came out in 1984. And that is right there. This is the actual original Japanese version that I bought. I think that came out in 1993. And then it was reissued on Cherry Red like 20 years later, or something, 25 years later, as a 2 CD set. And then they released it again on Last Night From Glasgow. And then finally, the definitive version, which is 3 CDs and a DVD. Plus, if you bought it when it first came out, you got a free EP. And cover-wise, that is the first Bluebells release that I bought way back in 1983. Some different songs on there, but still, this right here, you know, why do I have the other 3 CDs? Because I can't part with them. But this pretty much has everything that's on the CDs I showed you and so much more. 3 CDs, a DVD, and you probably won't be able to get that Kath EP anymore. But if you're lucky, you bought it early when it came out. It's just wonderful, just great pop, jangle, and folk, and power pop, harmonies, great hooks. You're going to want to get that. Now, when the original Japanese version of that first album came out, they also released the singles collection. This is the Japanese version. This has been reissued several times, different cover, same tracks. But after that debut album, they put out one more single called All I Am Is Loving You, which was one of my favorite Bluebells tracks. That came out in 1985, and then after that, they just went quiet. They never officially broke up, but they just went on a very, very long hiatus. During that time, they gathered together a collection of unreleased tracks in 1992 for the Vinyl Japan label and released the Bluebells Second. I'm still not 100% sure if it's finished recordings that they never release, if it's just demos. So none of these tracks have been released in any other form except on this CD, and it's very worth your while if you are a Bluebells fan. Now, the next year in 1993 in the UK, they had a television advert running for Volkswagen, I believe it was, and they used the Bluebells' Young at Heart, which came out in 1984 originally. They used that for the commercial, and it put it in the top 10. I don't know if it went to number 1, but it was definitely a huge hit. And this is the CD single. I know that they got back together to perform Young at Heart for some of the British pop shows or European pop shows. But they never officially got back together and toured and wrote songs and stuff. Not until nearly 30 years later, when they put out a brand new album called In the 21st Century. And this came out on the Last Night From Glasgow label. And it's Ken, David, Robert, and then the later members I told you about, Campbell, Douglas, and Mick. It's kind of like them revisiting the Bluebell sound from where they left off, but also updating it. And a great collection of songs, more mature, more laid back. It's like they have less to prove. You know, they're not the young kids looking for pop stardom. They're just old kids trying to write great songs, I guess is the best way you put it. It's a really, really fine album. But I believe that this is the Bluebells, which just came out. This feels like it's the Bluebells being the Bluebells. It has shades of what they've been doing throughout their career. I'd say, you know, it's leaned towards the folky over the pop, but still great pop hooks, great melodies. The band has been doing extremely well. They've been selling out shows. This album, I believe, debuted at number 1 in the Scottish charts. And that's pretty exciting, especially for a band that's been around for 45 years or so. Now, I know that there are a lot of people out there who maybe only heard the early stuff, or there are folks out there who have never heard the Bluebells before. So I have put together a medley featuring songs from throughout their career, beginning with their first single called Forevermore and ending with a song off of This Is the Bluebells. And I hope this encourages you to check them out. So why don't you sit back, relax, give this a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
inside. And Glasgow is a rainbow, the colors I'll lay under the falling rain that grew me, falling in the west. Don't stop it, walking where the wind blows. Glasgow is a rainbow. Boy, well, it's a curious feeling to see yourself up on the screen. After all this time, you finally made it. Celebrate it before it makes a fool of you. Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, well, well. Oh, my daddy was an engineer. He said, son, life can be so unfair. Once in a while you disappear. Oh, my daddy was an engineer. What a beautiful man. What a beautiful man. What a beautiful man. We made of this world. It seems that my whole life was filmed in black and white. So I asked my mother, and she said, this world's not in color, it's just a monochrome set. No pass around, our time will come. No pass around. No pass around, our time will come. No pass around. Was it hard to find your way through a never-ending maze? See what the morning brings. Stop everything. See what the morning brings. See what the morning brings. Into the days of the revolution, running right inside us, young desire, destined to explode. A power inferno, foundations ablaze. In the days of the revolution, a moment sublime that blew our mind. I felt drunk, but in fact I was sober. I just couldn't take one more day. One more day.
Well, I hope that wasn't too confusing, and I hope this encourages you to check out the music of the Bluebells. Hi, this is Steve Schnee from the future. For some reason, my mic went out, but I could not end the show without saying thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications, and until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.